How's it going today, YouTubers? It's Electron, man. Well, we kind of got a little bit of a different project today. You've actually seen a video of this before. This old PVC 312 volt DC power supply, a little 30-amp power supply. Well, anyway, I did a repair on it, and it worked okay for a little while. But when it started getting really hard current drawn to it, it ended up blowing up again, blew the fuse, and I put another fuse in it, popped another one, so I've got more problems inside there. You always have to worry about that when it burns the circuit board and as many parts I'd already put in it and I don't have any schematics for it, so I had to kind of guess on a couple of resistors, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with it. But without any circuit diagrams or parts list, I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. But then I got to thinking, they've got those eBay, a lot of times they call them like LED power supplies or whatever, but you can get one of those cheap. Got one right here, as a matter of fact. And I got to thinking, well, why don't I just gut this guy and put one of those in there? They're 30-amp switching power supplies, and you could pick them up for around 20 bucks. I think I gave $20 or $21 for this, but it's a 30-amp, 110 to 12 volt DC switch power supply. So my plan is to go ahead and gut this guy and put a Amazon LED power supply in it. Hey, 30 amps is 30 amps, right? They're both switching power supplies. And the thing about those is it's just a brick. In fact, I'll get this out of here, show you what I'm talking about. It's just a metal case. A lot of this stuff goes in equipment, so it's not something pretty that you want on your bench. It's not real convenient to connect wires up to it. You got to hardwire the electrical to it. But guess what? I've got the perfect candidate to house this guy. Main thing was I had to make sure that the power supply was less than 8 inches long to fit inside of this little case, which looks like this is going to fit just fine. But anyway, so I just purchased one of these for $21. I went and looked. These go for about $70, $75. So I don't want to put any more money in a repair. It's not worth it. It's cheaper for me to just gut it, put this guy in there. And the nice thing about it then is since these go for about $20, $21, if it does go again, we'll be ready just to pop another one in for 20 bucks. So best of both worlds. You get the nice post at the front, you get the pretty switch, you get the nice case. It's even got a fan built into it, so to help cool it. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and gut this thing, and we'll come back and we'll see how this works. My little Frankenstein power supply. Shoot, I thought I was recording when I was taking that apart, but I'm sorry. You missed that part. No big deal. Just took the circuit board out, cut all the wires back, and started figuring out how I'm going to lay this one in here, which it does fit in here perfectly, as I suspected. I do have one little, looks like the stud here that I need to see if I can get rid of. It's kind of in the way. I wonder if I can just get it off with a pair of pliers. If not, I guess I could try dremeling it off it. Let me see if it'll just pop out of there. I got her moving. Like pulling a tooth, huh? Ow, that would be a heck of a way to pull a tooth. There we go. Get that thing out of the way, that little obstruction. And let's see how she sits in there now. Like a glove. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Let me see. I'll probably go ahead and mark a couple screws holes on the back. I haven't even actually lined up. I've actually got one that looks like it lines up there. That's good. I'm figuring probably 2 screws. Well, we'll go ahead and drill a couple of holes on the bottom of this and get that mounted in there. And then, of course, I got my terminal strip up front here, so then I'll just reuse the power cord wires here. Well, let me go find a drill and get a couple of holes drilled here to get this mounted down, and then we'll go into the process of wiring this little guy up. Okay, let's get a little measurement on the back of this power supply here, as far as our mounting holes here. And actually got one hole that lined up perfect, so I only need to make one hole here. So let me go ahead and mark that little guy. And let's go ahead and drill her out and see what we got. You know, I'm gonna go right through my bench with that. Little piece of wood underneath there. Okay. Hopefully my measurement was good. Lay her in here. See if my holes line up. Step out of the way. Oh, where are those holes at? Okay, and we'll get these two screws tightened up now that I got the holes drilled. There we go. That fit perfect. And see, that's not going anywhere now. Now then, all I got to do is wire the guy up. Shouldn't be too hard here, since I'm using the power cord that was already in the power supply unit. Go ahead and peel this back. Let's see, we've got a load and neutral, so we're going to put the load will go on this one. Just cut it back a little bit, strip the wires back, twist them up here. And the first tab will be load. I like these terminal strips like this. Just loosen her up and put the wire underneath it. Tighten that up. That fits nice. Now what I did on the switch is this is actually a 3-position switch, and since I'm rewiring it this way, I really only need 2 positions on the switch. So I just cut off the one. I'm cheap. Actually a single pole, or 2 poles instead of a 3 pole. This is a 3 position. This is central, which is kind of weird. I wonder why they put a 3 position in there. Really should only have a 2 position, but anyway, I know these 2 here will be hot when powered on, so I'll use that. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just like you do a wall switch in a house, I'm just splitting the neutral in between the switch. So I have one part of the neutral wire coming out of the wall plug going into one pole of the switch, and then the other side of the pole of the switch, the other side of the neutral will come out, and then I will hook it up to the neutral on the power strip, and then when I turn the switch on, it'll connect those two, which then will complete the circuit, and voila, you'll have a functioning power supply. Cut this off here. Do the same thing, strip it back, twist the wires. Loosen up the neutral one. The ground, I went ahead and just hooked the ground up straight to the ground of the chassis of it. Since this is grounded to the chassis, and since it was already grounded to the chassis, I'm just going to leave that one alone. I see no need in moving that ground. Come on, work with me here. Why are you being complicated? It just goes underneath the little... And I went so far, I unscrewed it. Ah! There we go. And that should take care of that part of it. So now I have, basically I have the power supply now hooked up. So, next part, probably going to be the hardest part of it all, is I need to extend these over to the 12 volt. What I got as far as wire laying around here? I'm always stashing wire somewhere. I'm sure I got some decent wire for that. That's a little too thin gauge there. We're going to go a little heavier than that. We're talking 30-amp circuit, so let's see what I got here. Put down some wire. That's probably a little overkill there. With the heavy stuff here, this is not silicone wire. Probably doesn't hurt to go this way anyway. Let's see here. Am I going to have room for my connectors? Let's see. And this is marked negative, negative, positive, positive, positive. So, whoa. So we've got 3 negatives and 3 positives. So we got, you can power a bunch of different stuff, but I'm only needing one of each, 1 positive, 1 negative. So let's see what we got going on here. Will that fit over the... Okay, that's perfect for that. So let me go ahead and crimp a connector on here. Hopefully you're seeing this well. Basically, I'm just meant to set jumper wires from here to the power terminals on the power supply. There we go. And where's my crimp set at? Well, since I moved, I'm telling you, I have a real high-end crimp set around here somewhere to crimp wires, and now I can't find it. Okay. By the way, these are super handy to have. You don't have any... If you want professional termination connectors, this is definitely the way to go. Just like that. I say like that. Give me the back to wire now. See, I was bragging about you and you won't give me grief there. But anyway, as you can see, that does such a beautiful job of crimping that wire. Don't have to worry about that sucker coming loose. And then we'll just put the negative terminal on there and put my little nut back on here. Remember to tighten that good. Bring the wire around. We'll go under and around. So we need about that switch. You know, I kind of almost push it all the way against that back side to give me a little bit more area to work with up front here. I've got enough, but when we're doing it again, I think I'd push it all the way back against that right there, just so it gives me a little more room to work with the terminal area up here up front. But anyway, let's see here. This is going to go to negative. No need to put a terminal on that, but I definitely made that too long. Shoot. Let's see here. Strip off the wire here. And then let's see if we can get underneath one of them terminals. I might have to use a connector on here. Nope, I won't. Good to quit fraying up on me. My OCD will drive me crazy on that. There we go. Tighten that up. Tuck her in. Just like so. Nice and neat. And then all we got left is a piece of red. Might as well make it color coordinated, right? Sure it does fit over the pole. Yep, fits nice. This is cool, and I think this is a great idea here. And just think now if that power supply were to go, a couple screws, order me another one of these power supplies for 20 bucks, and boom, be back up and running. Cheaper than replacing it, that's for sure. Much cheaper than replacing it. Stabber in there. Get my fancy little wire clippers here. Go. Like I said, I'll put those in the link. They weren't real bad. They were about 25 bucks, I think. Man, they're pay for themselves. And one time I wanted to make a good connection. I promise you that is not coming loose. And needing those pliers squeezing wise is not the professional way to do that. Go ahead and put my other nut on here. Started here. Give me a little, I think that's a 3/8 there. Give you a 3/8 wrench. I gotta remember to tighten those. You guys remind me to tighten those. Alright. How's everybody? Anybody watching that March Madness? I don't know if I mentioned last time, my brackets are so blown out. It's ridiculous. I'm not even close. Of course, there were some surprises this year too, but I know. Oh, Oklahoma State University got knocked out early. What was that big one that upset they had the other night, man? It was, I can't remember now. But it's like a 15th seeded team took a number 2 seed team down. That's gotta hurt. And then the whole COVID thing, I don't mess up that one poor college. Okay, let's see here now. Loosen this one up. Get her tucked underneath there. I could tin these if I wanted to, but I don't. With these type of hold down terminals. I don't think I really need to. I say that, and that one went all over the place. Okay. Go ahead and tighten down that terminal. All the wiring on it. Snap that down. Tuck that in. Get this to snap back in there like that. Oh, nice and neat and tucked. Go ahead and put the fan back on. Mine as well, right? Can't beat that. In fact, this will be a good test for it. I don't know. I think I want it blowing through it, not pulling through. So, oops, got a little carried away there. Should have left that open for a second. Since it's a 12-volt fan, I'll let my new power supply drive the fan. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way and wire underneath the terminal there. Okay. That'll be a good test when I plug it in. If the fan comes on, we know we got 12 volts working, right, guys? That's what tightened up. Okay. Snap that down, and then we'll just route our fan in here. It should mount. Well, let me see which way it spins. Let's see, we got power off there. Let me plug her in. Want to bet it works? Go. I was going to say, what? Okay, so we want it to blow in. So we're going to mount it this way. As you can see, she is spinning away. Actually, let's go ahead and route the wires on top here. Kind of a noisy fan. Yeah, not too bad. Got my wires in there. Put the screws back in on the fan back here. These came with the power supply. Get those started. Cool thing about this too, it's better than it was before, is now this power supply has a voltage adjustment, so I can actually, I'm not dependent on the 13.8 or whatever it was before. I can actually go from, I think, about 10 or 11 to up to probably 15 or so. So it actually gives me more flexibility. There's a little pot right here that I can turn to adjust the voltage, which we'll do here in a second. Excuse me. Okay, let me get the fan mounted back in here. Nice airflow. Got to tighten those two up. And other than that, we're just about up and running here. And I'm guessing either 3/8 or 10 millimeter. I could be wrong on both of them, but let's start with a 3/8. It looks like a 3/8 to me. And a 3/8 as it was. That's from old ranching days. Be careful here, I'm gonna short it out. Getting tight. Not too tight. Here we go. I think we're done. One rebuilt power supply. We now have a Pyramid 40 with a Chinese 30 amp switching power supply in it. Getting nice airflow through it. I tuck those in a little better. And take a cover. You know what? I'm an idiot. I didn't set the voltage before I put it in there. Before I screwed it all together. Oh, I hope the voltage is good. Oh, Lordy. Take all them screws off. Yeah, let's just see what we are as far as if it's 13 or above, I'm cool. That's 12.25. Ah, darn. Well, apart it comes. Shoot. Wasn't exactly the easiest case to get on there either. Damn it. I even told y'all guys, you could have reminded me. Why didn't you remind me? Say, hey, AJ. I'll put that thing together till you set the voltage. Or you're going to be taking it back apart. All 8 damn screws. You could have done that for me. Could have saved me some time. I tell you. Can't buy good help anymore. Speaking of good help, man, I lost my job in September to that pandemic. I've still been looking, and I'll tell you what, they say it might be coming back, but I ain't seeing it. I've gotten a couple interviews, but nothing even close in the type of salary I was making before, which I know you starting over, you're probably not going to get to start out what you started out before, but come on, folks. Okay, let me go ahead and set this voltage now, which I'm just looking at my voltmeter here. Let's put the prongs in there, and you can watch me set the voltage here. I was going to say, what? Okay, 12.25. Yeah, let's see here. What can we go up to? 8, 13, 5. We'll do about 13.5, I think. You can hear that old fan speeding up when so we'll do 13.55. That sounds like a good number. Perfect. Which for a battery charging is about 13.55, and most of your 12-volt devices will think up to about 14.5, 15 volts. So 13.5 should be perfect. I'm gonna be using this for power linear or something. I use most of the can of it. Yeah, 13.55. Okay. And now we'll go back and do what we just redo what we just did. Maybe I'll be a little better at it this time. Okay, now then, heard the fan come on, and we should have 13.55 volts now. .55 volts. Here, take a look, guys. There you go. 13.55 volts out of 110 AC. We'll go ahead and clean her up and get her back a running now. Who would ever known? And like I said, the nice cool thing about it now is if it ever goes out again, heck, 20 bucks, 21 bucks, put another one of those little old 30 amp universal power supplies in there and we're back up and running. Hope you enjoyed this. It's kind of a little bit different, kind of an idea I just came up with when I got the measurements and thought, why not take advantage of this case instead of just throwing it away. See, now I'm back to having the cool terminals up front to use and got a nice power switch, which you wouldn't get with the $20 power supply, but with this nice little cases in addition to it, shoot, it's worth every bit of what it was before. Actually, I think it's better now because now it's got a modular power supply I can pull in and out if I need to. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day out there, guys. This is the Electron Man.